Hey guys, welcome to the start of the 2018 season, the start of our 7th season in the Midwest Fantasy Football League. As you may have noticed, I've got the headset on this year. Rather than recording audio through my webcam, which kind of gives it the open audio air vibe, I decided to do the headset. I think it gives a much crisper sound and it's got a lot better mic in it. Week 1's biggest blowout and top score came in the same game. Where my squad of Justin Tucker Must Die took down Nick's Duchess of T. York 184.4 to 110.2.
Everyone! I'm going to kill my brother! Drinks are on me!
With the high score, I got the weekly high score prize for week 1, and the 184.4 points slots in at the 4th highest score in league history for a single week. I got very fortunate this week in drafting James Conner with the very end of the draft for $1. His 35 points led my team. Dirty Phil Rivers put up 32, and I had 3 other players put over another 20 points. For Nick, he got 33 points from Michael Thomas and 20 points from Russell Wilson. Nick's 110 points means that he had the highest losing score this week, so he slots in 7th place. His Chargers defense got lit up by Kansas City this week, costing him 2.5 points, so 2.5 points negative. Fortunately for him, this week the Chargers get the Bills, and the Bills just gave up 21 points to my Baltimore defense this week, so that looks good for you. In our closest matchup this week, Josh's I Win 'Cause Y'all Drafted took down Brandon's Once in a Generation 91.25 to 86.75, a 4.5 point margin of victory. Josh, you should really consider changing your name. You get credit for the win this year because you did your own end of the draft when you didn't have to go do on-call stuff this year, so that's a plus. On the back of Jay Ajayi's 20 points and Cam Newton's 18 points, Josh took down Brandon's team in a battle between the 2 lowest scoring teams this week. Hey, a win's a win, right? Packers. Brandon's once-in-a-generational squad was led to victory on the mighty arm of Patrick Mahomes, putting up 28.5 points, about 33% of his team's total this week. On a side note, if you go to YouTube and you search for Once in a Generation, Saquon Barkley is the second hit, right behind Tim Duncan. Anyways, Brandon's non-once-in-a-generational running backs combined to score 10.7 points, or about half of Barkley's first game for the Giants. Josh may have gotten the win in this matchup, but Yahoo gave him the worst grade overall. Probably has something to do with Josh leaving 83.5 points on his bench this week, scattered among Drew Brees, Isaiah Crowell, and Kenny Galladay. Pope 2.0's Drunk Choir Boys grabbed the win here, taking down Lee's I Want Some Butts!
I want some butts!
114 to 107. Pope 2.0's top scorer this week filled in very nicely while Le'Veon Bell was busy partying in Miami. Joe Mixon put up 23.5 points in his stead. Lee came up short this week. I'm not entirely sure how the league's only Viking fan felt watching Rodgers go down in the first half against the Bears on Sunday Night Football, knowing that his fantasy team was now hurting severely, but, as a Viking fan, Fortunately, Rodgers activated Favre's injuries are for wusses mode and went to town in the second half, racking up 25 points on 3 passing touchdowns and just short of 300 passing yards. With this being such a close matchup, only about 7 points between the winning and losing score, I'm sure neither team was real happy to have left a 21-point scoring running back on each of their benches. In a matchup of last season's championship contenders, Chris's brown-eyed monster gets revenge for last season's loss, putting the hurt onto Derek's Gurley's Gone Wild, 162 to 108. A slight improvement for Chris over the championship game last year, as he only put up 76 points in last year's final. Chris's stud team went up and went off this week, led by Alvin Kamara's 38.6 points. Close behind him were 26 points from Julio Jones, 25 points from Kenny Stills, 21 points from touchdown Timmy Brady, and 20 points from Antonio Brown. Holy hell. The only negative for you this week was the New Orleans defense, who put up a negative 2.6 points and cost you a chance of getting out of the weekly prize runner-up spot, which you so love to be in. For Derek, Todd Gurley's 25 points and Minnesota's 18 points led the squad in the loss. Matthew Stafford's awful Monday night versus the Jets, and deciding to bench Eric Ebron over Trey Burton cost you a chance to keep this one close, as that was an 11-point swing at the tight end position. In our next matchup, Jason's The Hammock District took down Pope 1.0's I'm Ready to Pump.
I am Hans.
And I am Franz, and we just want to pump you up.
142 to 93. Jason's team name sounded very familiar, but I couldn't place it initially. Fortunately, YouTube exists. I was going to link the video here, but it's like 2 minutes long. This is already plenty long enough on its own.
That's what she said.
Jason's squad was clearly well rested here in week 1 as they came out blazing with the third highest score this week, led by Emmanuel Sanders, 27.5 points. The once-in-a-generational talent Saquon Barkley is 23 points, and Chris Thompson is 22 points. For Pope 1.0's Pump Squad, 20 points games from both Kirk Cousins and Keenan Allen couldn't make up the 10 points that you got from Alex Collins and Jamal Williams combined. Fortunately for you, Mark Ingram is out of suspension in 3 weeks, and Aaron Jones should be off of suspension after this week. So you'll never have to start Jamal Williams ever again, since he looked like garbage on Sunday Night Football. Finally, we come to Drew's $5 footlong, defeating new league member Alex's Funkle Up, 115 to 98. Tyreek Hill's massive 45.6 points accounted for almost 40% of Drew's total points this week. The Steelers' defense and Big Ben combined to chip in another 27 points. For Alex, his squad was led by a couple wide receivers this week, with Golden Tate and Juju Smith-Schuster combining for 33 points. Unfortunately, Jimmy G's weak game versus Minnesota and Tyreek Hill completely taking Kareem Hunt out of the Chiefs game meant that the points weren't really there for you to grab your first league win. Maybe next week. Notable waiver wire activity this morning was that there was a couple people who were kind of interested in Philip Lindsay, but Chris was really interested, dropping $22 out of his $100 season fab budget for him. Also, Pope 1.0 claimed Jared Cook to sub in for his once again broken Greg Olsen. Man, that guy has had some shitty luck when it comes to injuries. The only wager so far on the season board was made and settled in week 1, with me defeating Nick in our matchup and winning wings and beer. If I can't win this goddamn league, at least I can beat you often enough to get wings for free.
You can't say goddamn on the air.
Don't worry, nobody's listening anyway.
If you couldn't tell, I wanted to try to throw in a few more media clips this season. I'm amused by them, and I'm hopefully that you are. If you think they're dumb, let me know if you like them or you think I should add some more. If you have a particular idea in mind, you can send it to me after a matchup that may be a recap about something that happened that weekend, or you can send me a week ahead of time so that way I can trash talk your opponent for you. If you want to record your own videos on your phone, do it in horizontal mode and send it to me, email, whatever, and I'll see what I can do with them. And to wrap up, Nick put together a few fun stats from week 1. I thought I would highlight a couple of them. Jay and Chris take over the lead for the most regular season wins with 47 total wins. Alex, despite the loss in your first game, congrats on moving into a last place tie with Lee for the least amount of money won in the history of the league. Lee, it's been 5 years. You can win a weekly high score this season. I have faith in you. I believe in you.
I want winners.
Eric has never lost to Lee. He's 5-0 all time. Chris continues to whoop up on Derek. Now he's 7-2 all time. And this is the start of week 7. It's the third highest opening week score with a league average of 117.78. Good luck in week 2, everybody. Don't forget Thursday Night Football is starting already. Have a good one.